Welcome back to Brutally Human, now a part of Uncovered Investigates. Today we're tackling the question everyone secretly wants answered. How do you actually understand humans? Spoiler, it's not magic. Humans are messy, emotional, contradictory, and sometimes completely illogical. But science says we can predict behavior if we know what to look for, and if we're willing to stare our fellow humans in the face without flinching. In this episode, we'll break down the psychology, the science, and the investigative tricks to decode humans. So you stop being surprised by their weirdness, and maybe even use that knowledge to survive daily life. But before we do that, hit the like and subscribe button and comment below what you want to hear about next. All right, let's start with the obvious. Humans do what they do for a reason, even if the reason is sometimes I felt like it. Psychologists have spent decades trying to decode the driving forces behind human behavior. And guess what? They're mostly predictable. Classic, but still true. Humans are motivated by survival, safety, social connection, esteem, and self-actualization. So when someone hoards toilet paper or posts passive-aggressive tweets about their coworkers, your first thought should not be, what a monster. It's basic psychological need fulfillment. Humans do things either because it feels good internally or because they want external rewards. Research in behavioral science shows that the more extrinsic rewards you pile on, the less people actually enjoy the task. But hey, dopamine hits are dopamine hits, am I right? Dopamine again. Surprise, surprise. Our brains are wired to seek reward and avoid pain, which explains everything from addiction to impulse buying to why people keep checking their phones in boring meetings. Studies from neuroscience labs at Stanford and MIT confirm this isn't a joke. It's hardwired. And yes, humans often think they're special or unique. Truth? Our motivations are embarrassingly consistent across the species. Humans aren't complicated. They're consistently predictable, if you know what to look for. All right, humans lie. They lie all the time. Sometimes about the big stuff, sometimes about whether they actually like your casserole. But the good news? Your brain didn't evolve just to get duped. There are tells. Body language. Arms crossed could be defensive or just cold. Leaning in, interest. Fidgeting, anxiety. Or maybe they just have restless legs. Psychologist Albert Mehrabian famously showed that a huge portion of communication is nonverbal, meaning your eyes and ears pick up more than words. These are tiny, fleeting facial expressions that reveal true emotions before the conscious brain can filter them. Paul Ekman's decades of research show that most people display fear, disgust, or surprise for less than a second. If you notice it, you get a sneak peek at their real feelings. It's not just what they say, it's how they say it. Rising intonation, pacing, and hesitation can all signal uncertainty or deception. Linguists and psychologists have studied these patterns extensively in interrogation settings, business negotiations, and yes, even in casual arguments over group texts. So the next time someone swears they're fine, but keeps clenching their jaw and checking their phone, you don't have to guess. Your brain is a pattern detector, and science says you can see the invisible. Humans pretend they're fine. Science knows better. If I could get paid by predicting human behavior, I'd be... Oh, it appears I could do that for a living. I'll just stick to making videos. But seriously, humans are predictably unpredictable. Once you know the patterns, the tiny cues, and the tendencies, you can see the invisible strings guiding almost every decision. Charles Duhigg's research and the power of habit shows that behavior follows a simple loop. Cue, routine, reward. Whether it's brushing your teeth, scrolling your phone, or binge buying that weird gadget you don't need, humans are running on autopilot until they aren't. Anchoring availability, hindsight bias. Psychologists have all mapped out a dozen ways humans consistently misjudge probabilities and make irrational decisions. Guess what? You're doing it too. every single day. And yes, that includes why you're watching this video. Targeted ads, YouTube recommendations, and algorithmic nudges exploit the exact same biases to keep you scrolling. Your brain thinks it's a free choice. Science knows better. Investigative psychology shows that behaviors repeat in ways that are measurable. For example, people under stress will fall back on familiar routines, even if they're inefficient or damaging. Social scientists use these insights in everything from marketing to negotiation to criminal profiling. Humans are messy but annoyingly predictable, if you know what to look for. By understanding these patterns, you don't get superpowers. You just stop being shocked when someone does something ridiculous, which, trust me, is already a win. All right, so you survived the crash course in human psychology. You know why people do what they do. You can read microexpressions, and you can see patterns in behavior. Now what? How do you actually use this knowledge without turning into a full-time human spy? Well, number one, pick your battles. Not everyone's weirdness deserves attention. Understanding humans means you can choose when to engage and when to walk away. Observing it is often more powerful than reacting. Number two, predict and plan. Knowing the patterns allows you to anticipate behavior at work, in family situations, or online. You can minimize drama and maximize your sanity. Behavioral economics and social psychology are basically giving you cheat codes if you pay attention. Number three, protect your dopamine loops. Humans are predictably impulsive, but you can hack your environment. Turn off notifications, set boundaries, and watch how much smoother life gets when your brain isn't constantly being trolled by its own reward circuits. Number four, laugh at the chaos. Seriously, accept that humans are messy, irrational, and hilarious. Observing without judgment is a survival skill. Understanding humans doesn't make them less ridiculous. It just makes you slightly less shocked when they are. And that's the secret to surviving humans. Knowledge, observation, and a generous sprinkling of self-preservation. Plus a judgmental robot occasionally telling you what you already knew. All right, here's the brutally human takeaway. Humans are messy, predictable, and endlessly fascinating. And spotting the patterns won't make them less ridiculous. It'll just make you slightly less shocked when humans act the way they do. Remember, knowledge is your survival tool. Predict behaviors, protect your dopamine loops, and laugh at the chaos. Next week, we're going to dive into something that both Uncovered Investigates and Brutally Human audiences will eat up. How the government uses the movie industry to desensitize you to modern threats. Spoiler, Hollywood isn't making sequels for fun. They're shaping what you think is normal. Until next time, do you, but do it with love and affection. I'm Kyle Fields. I'll see you next time.